Hello, and welcome back to another episode of The Mind Shepherd. Because if we don't shepherd our minds, nobody will, and our thoughts will go astray like sheep gone astray. Today, we're talking about emptiness, because it is that thing that the more you have it, the less you talk about it. So, first, let's talk a little bit about the superficial aspects of emptiness, because it truly is that thing that people don't want to talk about. Because to have an empty life is felt as something shameful by the world and by ourselves. Nobody wants to have nothing, whether it is objects or relationships or meaning. And emptiness is a life without any of that. To live an empty life is to recognize that you have not had something that was essential to you. So it's not a fun conversation necessarily, but it is needed because we all have emptiness in our lives. So, how do we identify emptiness if it is invisible, right? It's like the air. It's there, but you don't see it. And emptiness is the things that should have happened but didn't, the things that people should have done but didn't, the things that you were waiting for but didn't come. So, it's hard to identify sometimes, but the way to see clearly is by seeing how you're trying to fill that void unsuccessfully. You know, maybe you're binging on food or on a TV series or allowing the wrong people into your life because you feel less lonely or less empty. So, if we identify the things that we're doing to try to fill the emptiness unsuccessfully, we can at least feel like something is missing. And then we can start asking the important questions like, why am I doing this? What is the pain at the core that I am avoiding? Or what do I not know about myself that I need to figure out? So, the way to heal the emptiness is by having discernment. Let's talk about that for a moment because we can't really open up to the world entirely because it's dangerous, right? People are crazy, they don't respect, and they are not reliable, to say the least, right? And we cannot close down entirely to the world because we need the world for certain things and we need meaningful relationships. And what is being asked of us as humans in the face of emptiness is to develop wise discernment. Think about the story of the Trojan horse, where soldiers made a horse made of wood with wheels, and they took it to the enemy camp. And they said, "We have brought you a horse as a gift." And they opened the gates, and when they opened the gates, the soldiers came out of the horse and destroyed the enemy city. That is what leaves us feeling empty as a society. We keep allowing things that don't nurture us into our lives, like fast food, like binging on pop culture, like repeating propaganda statements all the time so that we feel virtuous. We're not putting the effort to caretake ourselves. And as soon as we can realize that, the faster we can start healing the emptiness. One of the biggest obstacles of healing, though, is this, that we live in a world where gentleness, love, and care are seen as weak. People can perform those in front of a camera and tell the world that they love it and blow kisses and everything. But true care is seen as weakness generally in society. And instead of rewarding care, society rewards loud people, it rewards distance, it rewards independence, coldness, armor. So that is one of the biggest obstacles in healing, because society is not conducive to healing. It is conducive to distance. So healing in part involves going against the grain. And there is another reality that we have to face, that as individuals or as a society, sometimes we think that we have the capability to endure eternal disappointment. Maybe the next leader will be good, maybe our next lover will be perfect, maybe our next friend will be the best one, but we don't change anything. So we continue enduring the same pain and disappointment over and over again, and it keeps hollowing us out. And the bottom line is that we don't have the capability to endure eternal disappointment. That is why we need to become better administrators of life. We need to become more selective. We need to have stronger boundaries, higher standards. Those are the things that will heal the feeling of emptiness in society. So, in summary, I would love to tell you that the solution to emptiness is just to have positive thinking, but that is a lie. We need to be more serious and more responsible. We have to use our discernment, because otherwise we will end up in the hands of people who want to take everything away from us. But remember this: there are people out there who are worth your time. And if there are no people out there right now in your life who are worth your time, then give yourself what you want to give to a person who you would love the most.